Okay, welcome to Facebook training. I'm going to share my screen and then I will introduce myself. Okay, so my name is Rae Lloyd. I am a presidential director with Optavia. A little bit about me, I live in New York. I apologize if I talk too quickly. I have been known to do that, but this will be recorded. Take notes, the screenshot stuff, but I'll try to go as slowly as I can. I have an autoimmune disease, tried to lose weight for 10 years until Optavia. I lost weight, this is actually my 2-year anniversary. I started in May 2016, lost 60 pounds in 7 months, have kept it off ever since. And my husband started coaching. He really wanted to coach. And I was like, no. You were at Go Global, you heard this story. And I finally was convinced, if you say, and came along and started this amazing journey. Now, what I do want you to know is that all of this that we're going to be talking about is suggestions. So my disclaimer here is that this is a training on Facebook to help you, not to overwhelm you. So if I say a lot of different things and you are like, oh, you know what, I cannot implement all of that, that's okay. Even if you do a couple of them, it will help you. So these are just a lot of suggestions. These are just a lot of different things that people who are growing their businesses at a rapid rate have found to help them and be successful with. But it's your choice. No one's here to tell you what to do. No one's here to force you to do anything, but these are just some suggestions that I have found have worked. Now, this is also nothing I've made up. These are all just things that I've either tried out and saw that they were successful, or things that I have learned, things that I have read, things that other leaders have been doing. So none of this is made up by me. However, everything you learn is a suggestion, like I said before, so always check with your mentorship. So if I mention something that your line does not do, or if I say something that doesn't seem like something that your mentorship has mentioned or has actually said not to do, go ahead and check with them. This is not like hard, fast rules. These are just things that if your desire is to grow a big business, they'll probably help you do that. Now, what I want to talk about first is, what is Facebook's mission? What is Facebook here for? And so in their mission statement, which was actually changed rather recently, they say, we want to give you the tools to connect the world to build community. If you notice, they don't say, we're here to help you build a business. We're here to help you sell things to people. We're here to help you, mass message a lot of people. They mention specifically to connect the world to build community. So that's really their mission, is to have accelerated friendship, to have a lot of people in one place who can have the ability to connect with other people outside of your immediate circle. So these are not going to be people, obviously you'll have people in your neighborhood on your Facebook page, but these are people who you would not meet in any other capacity. These are people who live in other states or other countries. These are people who you would not have come across in any other fashion, and Facebook allows you to do that. So that's the beauty of Facebook. Now, these are the different things that we're going to talk about. I'm going to run through them, some of them in a lot of detail. But just so you know, this is what today is going to be about. We're going to talk about your profile. We're going to talk about the newsfeed. We're going to talk about groups, Messenger, and stories. These are all the different places that you are going to be branding yourself. These are all the different places that you can utilize to grow a big business, to connect with more people, to create more authentic relationships. So the first thing we're going to talk about is your profile. So the two different things I'm going to touch on, and then I'm going to get into a lot more detail, is how you present yourself. This is where you're doing that. This is the front of your house, if you may. So this is the, the shutters, the door, the front porch, the plants that you put on there, the things that look really pretty and kind of represent who you are. Generally, I say somewhere between 3 to 5 posts a day, and of course we're going to get much deeper into that. But this is where your consistency happens. This is where you are strategically posting and allowing people into the front bits of your life. Now, the second thing is my no drama llama here. My profile is completely drama and politics free. That's something that I do on purpose to attract the right kind of people, and it might be something that you'll want to integrate into your business as well. Of course, and just a suggestion, if you like to talk about politics, go ahead. I just didn't find that worked very well. Now, here's the thing, whatever you are doing, so I encourage my coaches to post something inspirational in the morning, something food recipe related in the afternoon, and a side-by-side in the evening. But if that's not what you're doing, that's okay. Whatever you are doing, I suggest you do it consistently. Consistency is actually what is going to grow you a big business. So if you're posting the trilogy, do that consistently. If you go live every single Wednesday about, I don't know, health tips or unboxing a beauty box or something about sports, so do that every Wednesday. But whatever it is that you're doing to brand yourself, whatever it is that you're doing to allow people into your world, do that consistently. Now, branding yourself is just as much about attracting the right people as it is about not attracting the wrong people. So don't be afraid of not accepting certain friend requests or removing certain people from your friend list or posting something that might not be favorable to every single person because they're not who you're looking to attract. So if you find, let's say, that there's someone who's constantly posting negativity about your quote unquote diet, maybe consider removing them from your friend list because you don't have to have everything or everyone on your profile. This is your business. This is your profile. This is your branding, and you are able to control it that way. Now, a lot of times I get questions about, okay, so how much business am I posting and how much personal am I posting? And I actually find that to be not the correct thinking. So for me, it's about everything is one big thing. It's one big thing altogether. So your business is your personal and your personal is your business. So if you talk about how this affected your life and how this has affected your clients' lives and how much you love it and the huge transformation that you've had, then your personal post will be your business post and vice versa because they're all one thing. Now, the question is, I get a lot. What am I posting? What do people want to see? What am I putting on my profile? And people are almost scared to post. They're scared to press the button. They don't know, what do people want to see? So these are the questions that I suggest you ask yourself. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to represent? What are you going to offer to people that they're willing to spend money on? And what content are you offering that will affect people's lives positively? So when you ask yourself those questions, you can come up with whatever it is that represents you. This is about you and your business. You're not representing someone else. I don't want your Facebook to look like mine. I want you to take these guidelines and make it work for you. So you sound like yourself. But the thing is also to keep in mind not to overthink your posts. So you don't want to have to sit there and, okay, like what do I write and what am I typing and what picture and when you overthink it, it becomes non-authentic and it gets to be too much. This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be just you, sharing you. So my suggestion is if you want to write long and wordy posts, no problem. Sometimes I do that, but they do show, like statistics show that keep it short and simple, generally gets more interaction. 23% more interaction than longer posts. Now, using a feeling emoji will help your post as well. And what I mean by that is I'm going to try to show you at the end of this, but when you're posting, you'll see that there's an option to choose a feeling. And you can write feeling happy, feeling inspired, feeling energetic, feeling tired, whatever it is. And you can put a little emoji with that. And what that does is it almost gives your post like a cover page. Like people now know what to expect, what you're going to be talking about. Because when you do write something a little bit longer, then I'm not even sure exactly how many words it is, but Facebook will make it look smaller. So you have some of your words, your picture, and then people have to press read more or see more to see the rest of your post. Now, when you give them that feeling emoji, you give them that little sneak peek, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about, that will encourage them to read more, to open it up. And when people open up the post, you're then going to show up in their newsfeed more often. So using that emoji feeling will help you. It will encourage people to look at your posts more often as well. Now, using emojis will increase your comments by 33%. I have gotten some pushback on that. People are like, I don't like emojis. It makes everything look messy. Now, don't overuse them. Doesn't have to be every other word, but here and there, dropping a little emoji, what that does is it draws people's eyes to the next thing. People generally don't read an entire thing all at once. They scan it. They see some cute little things. They see an emoji. They see a word they like, and then they go back and read the rest of the post. So the emojis are going to keep their eyes on your post. They're going to keep them reading longer. So if you can use emojis, it's in your phone. You'll see there's a little emoji circle, and that brings up the whole emoji section. They're actually adding in a ton of new emojis. I think it was like 68 new ones by the summer. So we're going to have some cool new things. So that's actually a whole thing to choose the right emojis. So hopefully we'll get some good things that we can use. Now keep in mind also posting with pictures will increase your interaction by 39%. Just a post, that's fine. Post with a picture, that will get you some more interaction. Now, posts with a question will get you 100% more comments. You know, asking people where, like I just asked someone, anyone know where I can find a new CPA? Where can I find clothes for my 3-year-old? Does anyone know what's a good place to visit when I'm in such and such state? Whatever it is that you're actually looking to know, if you're something that you're interested in finding out, post about it. Crowdsource. Ask your Facebook friends. People love to give other people ideas and advice, and so you will get a lot of interaction that way by having a call to action, having a question. Now, what you want to do is be relevant, give valuable content, entertain your fans, and be educational. So this is how I like to break up my posts, you know, offering them value, whether it be maybe something about a vitamin that's really good to take, or maybe some sort of, you know, new recipe that you had and you want to give people that information. And so you can be educational that way. You can be funny if that's kind of your sense, you know, your sense of humor. You know, offer that. Post a funny meme. Post something funny that happens in your life. You just want to stay relevant and give people something that they want to see. Now, what you want to stay away from is not sounding like you. Now, I know a lot of us are copying and pasting just because it saves time. And I'm not saying don't do that, especially when you're copying someone's story, if you're posting their side by side and you're copying their story and you kind of want to share what they said. But I would also personally, and this is just a suggestion, I add my own words to it. So I start it off with something that sounds like me, or I'll put a little cute emoji in there, or some like short little line that makes it sound like me, because people don't want fake. People are really searching for authenticity and real, especially in a world full of, you know, filters and plastic surgery and fake Instagram stuff, and people are searching for that heart. People are searching for that authenticity. So when you share a story or you're copying and pasting something, maybe put a little of yourself in there. And especially in the rest of your posts as well. You want your personality to come out. That will keep you away from sounding like a salesperson, which you are not. Now, if you are posting something that doesn't speak to you or doesn't move you, and that doesn't mean that all of your posts have to be like these, you know, earth-shattering emotional posts, but if it doesn't speak to you, then how do you expect it to speak to other people? So keep in mind when you're posting that you want it to be something that offers value to yourself as well, and that way other people will connect with it. Now, the other thing I suggest not getting caught up with is popular posts. So, for example, you know, things that are really popular would be like, let's say, World Series, Super Bowl, golf tournaments, the royal wedding, fur babies, what else? I don't know, when a new movie comes out, or when it was a Star Wars day or something like that. Now, it's okay to post those. It will absolutely bump up your interaction, especially if you're using the right hashtags. But if it has nothing to do with you, meaning Star Wars, sorry guys, for those of you that love it, it's just not my thing. So if I would post something like that, I would have nothing to offer. When someone would comment, I'd be like, yeah, I never saw those, have no interest, don't know what you're saying. So posting that is actually counterproductive, because then you have nothing of value to offer, and people realize like, oh, she's just posting this to get interaction. However, let's say with the royal wedding, I posted a picture of that because that was something I wanted to talk about. That was something I did have something to offer on, something I was interested in. So I did post about that. So when you're posting popular posts, be careful that it's something that you are able to interact with, something that you're able to talk about, so that you're not just posting it for the likes, but you're posting it because it's something that you care about. Now, I hope that makes sense. I see that there are a lot of comments. I promise you guys I will get to it, but we're just going to keep moving forward. I don't want this to go too long, but I do have a lot of value to offer you. The next thing I want to talk about is your profile. So this is mine, just to give a good example. This is what I do. If you want to set it up this way, it's great. There are some science behind the way I've done this. But the first thing I have is a banner picture. So if you see behind my profile picture, there is something that kind of offers people like an opening to, like, this is what I have to offer to you. This is my mission. This is what I like to be a part of. And what it says is be open to the possibility of change. So that's kind of like my mission statement, if you may. And I made it in, you know, easy to read colors, something that will catch people's eye. And you want that to be centered. The next thing is your profile picture. Now, I know that many of you don't do this, and that's okay. Again, this is all suggestions, and I don't want to step on any toes. But me personally, I do not change my profile picture that often. And I know that some of you are getting suggestions to do that. And if that's what your mentorship is saying to do, go ahead and do that. But I'll just offer you my advice, and my reasoning why I don't change it is because this is your brand. This is how people recognize you. Scientifically, when you friend somebody or you message somebody or you comment on someone's posts, the first thing they see is your profile picture. And if you notice when you comment, that's actually right next to your comment is a little picture of you in a little circle. Facebook is highlighting your profile picture. That's how you are recognized. That is how people, oh yeah, that's that girl. So even if someone maybe didn't accept your friend request yet, but you're still messaging back and forth, they're recognizing you from your picture. Not everyone's going to remember your name. In a world of tons and tons of people and messages and constant, just the newsfeed scrolling, the first thing people are remembering is your picture, not your name. So you kind of want that to be your brand. This is how you're representing. You want it to be a close-up. You want to look good in it. And you want it to be a picture of you. A lot of people post pictures, or rather put a profile picture of their pet or their child or a pretty flower or somewhere that they went on vacation, but that doesn't represent who you are. No one knows who that is, and they might not even accept your friend request because they don't know who they're talking to. That being said, if you're looking to maybe post your sugar shot, you want it to be a profile picture for a little bit, and it's something that you want to highlight, you can always post it as your profile picture for a temporary amount of time. So it will stay up there for, let's say, a week, and then it will go back to your brand. And the reason why I really like to leave this as who I am and what is me, what I represent, is because imagine Target. They have that red circle, right? The Target, and that's how you recognize them. That's how you know who they are. If they would change that to like a purple triangle and then a white flower and then like an orange square, you'd be like, who is this? You know, I mean, just for example, my personal Target here just changed their floors. They changed their layout. They instead of the McDonald's, it's now a Starbucks. And every time I walk in there, I'm like discombobulated. I'm like, hey, where am I? What's happening? I don't know where the shoes are. And it's like, it really threw me off for a bit because I don't know where I am. They changed everything. So you kind of want to stick with who you are, how people are going to recognize you, and that's your brand. So I hope that that makes sense. But again, if your mentorship suggests not doing it that way, that's 1,000% fine as well. I'm sure they have a reason for it. Now, the second thing, rather the third thing that I have here is turning on tag review, and I'm going to talk about that a lot later, but this is where you're going to do that. So just keep that in mind. I'll talk about that soon. And then you have the description of who you are, what you have to offer, what are you in a quick, easy way. What you want to use is emojis. Again, they catch people's attention. And you want to have white space. So if you notice, in between boss mom and health coach, I have 2 spaces. So that attracts people's eyes. It looks clean, it looks neat, a lot of white space surrounding what your picture is and what you're saying. It attracts scientifically, people want to look at it. The way I did this is using the notebook section of your phone. If you just go to edit this, it will not allow you to space through it. It will not allow you to have those spaces in between. So it would say boss mom and then health coach right next to it. And so that looks a little bit messy in my opinion. So you use the notebook, copy it, and then paste it into the edit. Most of the time it saves. I have seen a couple of people who for some reason their phone wouldn't let them save it, but in general, that's how you would create this neat looking, pretty nice to look at profile. Now, the other thing I want to suggest is a little bit underneath this. You can list your schools, your jobs, your education, all that stuff about you. And you kind of want to stay away from having like a 10-page resume in there. Maybe just list that you're a health coach and your most recent job or where you are currently or a couple of the different schools you went to, but you don't want to list that you went to, 11 different high schools and 3 different colleges. I mean, it doesn't look good, and it's just a little bit too much information, especially if that was 15 years ago. So you want to have your most relevant, little bit of history and your most relevant information in there. Now, the next thing that we are going to touch upon is like what to post. So I'm going to preface with this. What are you posting on Facebook? So we mentioned this before. Think, what do you want to be known for? Understand that Facebook is a tool. It's not a toy. So it's about consistency and authenticity. So how are you going to get people to trust you? How are you going to get people to want to accept your friend request and engage with you? It's not just something you kind of go on and dabble in and then leave. Again, if this is something that you're not doing full time or it's not your desire to use Facebook to brand yourself, that's okay. This is just my suggestion for people whose desire is to grow quickly and efficiently. And the other thing is, I'm just going to throw this out there, and I hope that it's okay, but I am known for being a tiny bit unplugged. But Grant Cardone, who is super cool, but we'll talk about him some other time, said something to the effect of, and we don't sell anything, we don't sell products, but so he said that someone said to him once, I don't want to push my products on anybody. And Grant responded, well, it's a shame that you don't have products that you believe in. Now, if we switch this to what we have to offer, people will say, you know, I don't want to push this on my friends. I don't want to come across salesy. I don't want to post too much. I don't want my whole Facebook page to be about this. And I'm like, why not? Like, really, why not? Because you don't want to seem salesy and you don't want to be pushy. And if you're doing this correctly, then you're not, right? But you have a gift in your hands. Your life was radically changed, I hope, right? Mine was. And you don't want to offer that to other people. You're scared to post that on Facebook because you're worried what people are going to say. You know what? If people are saying something negative about what you have to offer, they're not the people you're looking for anyways. So it doesn't really matter, right? So for me, it's like, it is a crime for me not to post on Facebook. I'm going to save people's lives if I do post on Facebook, and not me. I mean, Optavia in general, what they've taught us will save people's lives. So keep that in mind. Like, do you believe in this or do you not believe in this? Because if you do, I can't imagine not wanting to post about it. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Now, we're going to talk about how videos and pictures get more interaction. And now I'm going to go through the different categories of how you want to kind of post. So obviously, if you're posting inspirational, recipe, and side-by-side every day, this is the other stuff. That's your trilogy. That I'm assuming you're posting. And if you're not, you're doing something else consistently to brand as a health coach. This is the other in-between things, right? So these are the posts that you're going to share your heart. So what do I post on Facebook? First thing is passion. So your passion is, what do you live for? What's changing in your life? Why do you want to give people this opportunity? You know, the why behind the why. So people are going to be like, wow, this girl is on fire about this, or this guy is really, really passionate about this topic. And it kind of draws them in and it helps them see, you know, why are you doing what you're doing? The next thing is your pain. So I want to preface this with, Facebook is not your diary. And you don't want to attract people that are wallowing in things. So if you went to the Arizona event that we had, the summit, there was a talk about attracting nines and wanting to coach nines, people who are at that level and they're ready to change their lives and they're ready to help other people. And then sometimes you're going to have some 2s and some 3s that come along, and you know that there are 2 and a 3 as soon as you get on that health assessment with them. You don't want to attract so many of them. Obviously, they deserve our help, and hear my heart on that. They deserve our help. They deserve to get healthy. But I want to spend a lot of my time with a lot of 9s. So if you're posting about wallowing in the terribleness of your life, that's going to attract people who are wallowing in the terribleness of your life. That being said, I'm 1,000% a believer in being authentic and posting things that attract other people to you because you're being real. So your pain is going to allow you to be transparent and vulnerable. But you're not just going to talk about the pain, you're going to talk about how you got through the pain, how that can inspire other people to get through the pain. So you're using it as a catalyst to impact other people's lives. So you're not just going to, oh my God, this sucks, but you're going to allow people to connect with you because they might be experiencing the same pain and they want to know how to get through the pain. They want to know how to help other people get through the pain. So it makes you human and it makes you relatable. So I hope that makes sense, how you can post those kinds of things, but in a very specific way. Now, the next thing you want to post about is your personality. So these posts are you. This has your voice and your sense of humor and your quirkiness. And you know, like I said, not just posting things because it's popular, but because it's something that you care about. These are things that you like. These are things that, you know, sound like you, because like I said before, you don't want to just copy and paste, because you want to build relationships on Facebook with other people who don't know you yet. And how are they going to know that they want to be your friend? How are they going to know that they want to answer your message if they don't know who the heck they're talking to? So your personality is what? Like, what are you? Okay? And then lastly, you have personal. So personal posts are things that you love, things that make you laugh, what makes you tick, what you want to share your opinion on, things that will help people get to know you, help them feel comfortable with you. And keep in mind that people don't care about, you know, your product. I know we're not a product, we're a brand, but people don't care about your product. They don't even care so much about your opportunity because they don't know what that is yet. What they care about is them. They care about themselves, not in a narcissistic, selfish way, but they care about themselves and how you have the solution to their problem. How are you going to fix what they're going through, right? So if you connect with people who are ready to do that, that's where all that authenticity will pay off. So your personal posts are who are you and how can you help them? Now, remember, I posted a little bit ago about, well, no drama llama. So I don't engage in drama. I don't allow it on my page. I don't post politics because of that. I voted for somebody, but you'll never know who that is. And I'll actually unfriend people who I see are posting things that don't work with my vibe, that don't work with my mission, that don't, they're not somebody who I would want to partner with anyway. So if they post something like that and I see it, I'll unfriend them, because I'm trying to find the best 5,000 people on Facebook. Facebook will max you out at 5,000 friends. I'm trying to find the best 5,000 of them. Now, I wrote here what not to do on Facebook. Again, just a suggestion. So you might consider not doing this on Facebook, and we're going to talk through these. Engagement bait posts, copying and pasting, mass messaging, mass friending, acting spammy, or getting sucked into the newsfeed. So clickbait posts, and I'm going to read this to you really quick because it is kind of small. So it says how this will impact pages, because I got this from somewhere else that was specifically talking about business pages, but I'm talking about you in general using clickbait posts, and I'm going to explain what that is. But publishers and other businesses that use engagement bait tactics in their posts should expect their reach on these posts to decrease. Meanwhile, pages, but let's just say profiles that repeatedly share engagement bait posts will see more significant drops in reach. So what Facebook wants you to do is focus on posting relevant and meaningful stories that do not use engagement bait tactics. So what engagement bait is say a post that's a picture of 4 different ice creams: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and mint chocolate chip. And you write, which is your favorite? Comment below A, B, C, or D. That's engagement bait. Hey guys, where would you want to live? And you have, California, New York, Mexico, Canada. Comment below A, B, C, or D. That's not offering value. That's not causing conversations. That is not something someone would share, and it's the opposite of what Facebook is trying to do. And so I stay far away from these kinds of things. That being said, you can post something that encourages commenting, like, asking someone, hey guys, I'm going to Mexico. Does anyone know what hotel is a really good place to stay in? That's not engagement bait. That is causing conversation. That is causing people to want to hear what you have to say, and that you want to hear what they have to say, So that's not engagement bait. That is just causing conversation. So, just be careful with what you're posting there. Now, the other thing that I want to suggest to you is staying away from certain words. So again, Facebook is trying to create a more real and enjoyable experience for its users, and certain words have been connected to certain spammy companies that are pushing product, right? Not like us, but other companies, and this is a very common wordage that they're using. And so what I've come up with is a couple of different options that you can use instead. So for example, instead of saying "I'll PM you," so someone comments on your post, "Oh my God, how did you lose all that weight? What did you do?" Instead of commenting "I'll PM you," instead write "check your" and use the emoji for inbox, or and you're technically writing "I'm going to message you," but you're using the emoji, the cell phone emoji. Or you can write "let's talk" with a little phone, or "I'll contact you." But basically you're talking like a human being. You're connecting authentically, and you can use emojis to do that. So you're not using words that are being flagged as spam, because your posts will see less engagement if you do use them. Now, instead of using "comment below," you can use the little finger emoji pointing down. Instead of saying "share," you can do "spread the love." You can use that word, or you can use the little arrow. Instead of writing "tag," you can say "tell a friend," or use the emoji for telling people, or even this megaphone with people. People will understand what you're trying to say. And instead of saying "ask me how," you can say "let's talk," "reach out," "don't be shy," things like that. So just be a little bit more creative with your words so you don't seem salesy, spammy, whatever word you want to use. Now, keep in mind that it's not all about the buttons. It's not all about collecting people. It's not about like, oh my gosh, I have to have this many friends. It's about connecting and offering your gift and being an authentic human being. So that's why I'm suggesting to use these words, because you want to sound like a person. You want to sound like yourself. You want people to feel like you care about them. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is timing. So again, these are all suggestions, and I'm going to talk about you specifically, but the peak times to post drop off at 11 p.m. on Facebook. At that point, most people are switching to Instagram. That's just what studies are showing. A lot of people, the last thing they look at is Instagram, and that's a whole nother discussion. But on Facebook, the interaction will generally drop off at around 11. So you want to be posting before that so that you can get the most interaction possible. That being said, think about who you're trying to attract. So if your biggest demographic is a single mom, posting around bus time or carpool time is probably not a good time to post because they're not on Facebook then. If your demographic is businessmen, posting during lunch hour would be a really good time to post because that's when they're on Facebook. So you want to figure out when is a good time for you to post. Who are your people and when are they on Facebook? Now, Thursdays and Fridays have been shown to have an 18% more interaction rate, but that's for each individual, it is different, but it's about tracking your own interaction. So when is a good time for you to post? When are your fans interacting? What days and times are working best for you? What kinds of posts are getting the most love? Once you figure that out, keep doing that. So honestly, post for a while, right? Post for a week or two and track, what time got the most likes, what kind of posts got the most interaction, what kind of posts got the most comments, who is seeing it, and then when you realize what rhythm you need to be in, keep doing that. Now I want to talk about this Facebook post life cycle. So what I mean by that is Facebook wants more people to spend more time on their platform because it makes them more money. They are in the $1 billion of income, and they want to keep doing that. So when you're on Facebook, you're seeing more ads, they're making more money, and so if you're offering something that people want to see, Facebook is going to show that to more people because it keeps people on Facebook for longer. So think about it like you're a TV show that's trying to get a prime time spot. So what are you going to do? What are you going to post? What are you going to share that is going to get you highlighted? And for each individual, that's something different. It depends on what your people want to see. So what you want to show is something that's more authentic, more you talking to more of people's hearts rather than just posting something about a side-by-side and walking away from it. And that will help Facebook, which will help you. Now, the other thing that I want you to keep in mind, though, is that it's not all about the likes. It's about influence. So even if you get 10 likes on a post that you're like, oh my gosh, this is epic. I love this. I shared my heart. I almost cried. And then you get like 10 likes and you're like, why doesn't anyone like what I have to say? It's not all about the likes. Your influence is a lot stronger than the amount of likes and comments that you're getting. Keep in mind that only 26% of people on Facebook are liking posts. 20% will comment on a picture. 22% will comment on a post or a status. And only 15% of Facebook users, not Optavia coaches, but other people, only 15% are updating their own status. So people are watching quietly. They're seeing what you have to say if you're posting, authentically and interacting correctly and using it the way it should be used. People are seeing what you have to say. They might not just be commenting. They might not just be liking. So just keep that in mind. Now, in terms of the life cycle, you also want to this isn't super important, but you kind of want to know like when is a good time to post by tracking this life cycle. So for example, you post something, it gets 100 likes. So the half-life of your post was at the 50 like mark, okay? And at what point did your post get those 50 likes? And that's something that you kind of want to track to decide when are you going to be posting things. So most posts are going to get that 50 likes within the first 90 minutes of posting. And then within 6 hours, you will have received 80% of your interaction, 80% of your reactions on your post. So the other 20% will stretch out over the amount of time that those posts are still staying active. So say you post something and for 3 days, people are commenting on it, people are liking it. So the 20% that was left stretched out over the rest of those days. So when do you want to use that 80%? Do you want to use it at 11 o'clock when everyone is going to sleep? Or do you want to post it at 9 o'clock in the morning when you now have a whole day for people to see your stuff so that more people are on, more people are seeing it, and more people are interacting in that first 80%? I hope that makes sense. I know it can be a little bit complicated, but essentially what I'm trying to say is figure out what time you should be posting and keep doing that. Now, the other thing is that my suggestion, and it doesn't always work because you might have something that has to be posted or you might need to post in a group or you might have something time sensitive, but if you can, posts do better when they're 90 minutes apart minimum. And what I mean by that is you post something in the morning, an inspirational quote, and then 20 minutes later you post a recipe. The algorithm is very confused and it doesn't know which one to show, and they're both not going to get great interaction because they're competing against each other. Now, the same thing goes if you post an inspirational quote on your page and then you post something inspirational in one of the groups that you're in, those two posts are now competing, obviously just with the people who are in that group. So the other people, it's not competing against itself. But if you want people to see both, try to stretch them 90 minutes apart. But obviously, if you're a leader in your group, and obviously I know I'm talking to all sorts of coaches. Some of you have just started and you might be feeling a little overwhelmed, and hopefully this will start to make more sense. And some of you are running massive businesses, so it will apply to you differently. But the point is that if you have to post something about, team building something or other, and you just posted something, but it has to be posted, go ahead and do it. Obviously that will take precedence, but if you can spread your posts at minimum 90 minutes apart, that will help you. Now we're going to talk about live video. And I know lots of you are so scared of that, but it's good stuff. And so why and how to go live? By the year 2020, 80% of the internet's traffic will be generated by people watching video. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's a huge tool. Live videos create organic traffic and discussion, which will increase your interaction. People are visual people. They want to see videos. They want to see pictures. Now, the live videos will show higher up in the newsfeed because it's doing what Facebook is trying to achieve. It is creating discussion. It is creating, people to think. It is creating people to interact with other people. And so they're going to promote it more. They're trying to be camera-based media right now. They're very camera-focused because they are actually, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a Facebook watch, maybe it is, or something like that. I haven't clearly had any time to do it, but they are trying to compete with Hulu and YouTube. So they have their own shows now. They have their own, whole video platform happening. And the more video you contribute to that, the better it is for their mission. So live videos will get more interaction. Now, what do? Some of you are petrified. I know that. Some of you are like, no one wants to hear what I have to say. Some of you don't know what the heck to talk about. So what you want to do, even for the first few times, is just choose something that you love. Choose something that you're passionate about. Choose something that will share something valuable from your life to others. So for me, the first thing I ever went live about was unboxing makeup boxes, my makeup subscription boxes. It's something I can talk about forever. It's something that I like to talk about. It's something I'm passionate about. And a lot of people like it. So those are my first few lives. And then as I started to feel more comfortable, I went live about my autoimmune disease. I went live about program, and as I felt more comfortable in front of the camera, it just came much more naturally. So choose a topic you love, talk to one person. So you're not talking to everybody. You're talking to the one person who needs to hear what you have to say. So be personable. Instead of saying, hey guys, which I do a lot, and it's something I personally have to stop doing, be like, hey, how are you? And talk to that one person. So they feel like, oh my God, she cares about me. Interact with the people who are commenting. Maybe wait a couple of minutes for people to get on. Maybe not a couple minutes, but a couple, 30 seconds for people to get on. No one wants to watch a video of you just sitting there quietly, but wait for some people to get on, go live at a good time, and interact with people who are commenting. Say hey to them, welcome them to your live, and talk for about 3 to 10 minutes. More than that is fine. Some people might get bored and jump off, so you kind of want to get your mission out there within that 10-minute mark, and talking for less than 3 kind of doesn't do it. So try to talk for in between that time. And your love for what you're going to share has to be stronger than your fear of the camera. So if you are super passionate about program and you know that going live about, your trip to Maui is going to help people interact more with you and see more of what you have to offer, then kick that fear in the face, to quote Tia, and do it anyways. And press the button anyways. And I promise you that the more you do it, the easier it gets. And you're letting people in, which is so impactful on their lives and really shows people that you're a real, genuine person, that it's going to affect your business so positively that it just makes sense to do it. A lot of people ask how often. Going live every day for me is overkill. I don't find that people want to see me every single day. Some people might want to see you every single day. I try to do it once a week. For me, that's my consistency. So whatever you're going to do that consistently. Now, this is a quote that I just have to read out loud because it just speaks to what we just talked about. Those who show us the magic of being human are the most important creatures of us all. That's what you're showing people. You're showing people that you're human. You're showing people that they can trust you. You're showing people that you get it. And then they're going to reach out and they're going to say, hey, can you help me change my life? All right. We're going to talk about the news feed. So what we are trying to do is train the newsfeed by using search bars and filters. Now, I'm going to mention the algorithm. We're going to talk in depth about the algorithm in a minute. But if you've noticed, almost 2 years ago, the algorithm changed. It has never changed since. They do updates. And recently there were some updates, and it's little things here and there, but the algorithm has not changed. So if you see posts of people saying, hey guys, the algorithm changed, can you help me by interacting? That's like the opposite of what you want to do. That creates all the people who are already seeing your stuff just to comment, and now you're not going to see everybody else's stuff, and they're not going to see your stuff. So the algorithm did not change. If you see people posting that, they're just not as informed as you are right now. So I'm going to explain exactly what the algorithm is, but the algorithm changed to no longer be chronological. What they did was they filtered it out to show you the best, most relevant posts so that you enjoy your time on Facebook. Why? Because Facebook wants you to stay on their platform because they make more money the more people that are on, seeing the ads, et cetera, et cetera. So the more you like your newsfeed, the longer you're going to be on Facebook. And they want to pair you with posts that you can offer value on and that can offer value to you. So they know what you like, they know what you want to see, or you're hoping they know what you want to see because you're training it as such. So just liking a post is not going to create interaction. You need to comment, create conversation, have a back and forth with people. That's going to help the newsfeed know what you want to see. And when you encourage other people to do the same on your post, the algorithm will know that that's what they want to see. So it's really taking this learning machine that doesn't know what you want yet and training it and saying, hey, this is the stuff I want to see and this is the stuff I don't want to see. And hopefully you will be the stuff that people want to see. So what you're trying to do is cause conversation. You're trying to encourage comments. You don't want to leave things off awkwardly. So say someone's back and forth with you and then you just disappear. You kind of want to either take it to Messenger or have a conversation with them in your comments. But what I try to do, and we're all guilty of getting sucked into the newsfeed. It happens. You're scrolling aimlessly and then 10 minutes later you're like, what did I just do? Nothing productive. So what I try to do is 15 minutes a day, I will go to the search bar. If you see up here, I wrote in weight loss, right? And that will filter out posts from my friends or friends of my friends who have written or posted about weight loss. Now you can filter this out to be people in certain areas, certain kinds of people, posts that you have seen or haven't seen yet, who posted it, the date it was posted. So you can really boil this down to be exactly what you want to see. And that will help you find posts that are about weight loss, or say it's, I don't know, other things that you want to interact with, moms, dads, whatever it is that you can offer value to. You kind of want to train the newsfeed to show you the things that you want to see. So by using this search bar, you can help boil down the thousands and thousands and thousands of posts that are on your newsfeed to be the stuff that you know you can offer value on. So that will help you be proactive. It will help you search and find the people that you can share with, that you know need you. They just don't know you exist yet. And when you do that, it will make your own newsfeed better. It will make their newsfeed better. Now, what you're really essentially doing is trying to find like-minded people and create friendships. So that's what you're using that for. Now, in your newsfeed, what you're trying to do is create value, create an experience, find topics that you can share on, find topics that you are knowledgeable on, find topics that people will be like, wow, that girl's really nice. I'm going to accept her friend request. So when you're commenting and you're showing who you are, that's valuable. And just keep in mind that the average person on Facebook has 400 friends. I know we have a lot more than that, or we should be striving towards that. But the average person has 400 friends. And like I said, Facebook wants those people to enjoy their time on Facebook. So they're going to try to show them the best thing in the newsfeed. And now it has boiled down to 1 out of 12 posts are showing up. And that's where people will start saying, oh my gosh, the algorithm's so mean to me. But the algorithm isn't actually doing anything other than showing people what they want to see. So if you're posting things that offer value and you're posting things that people want to see, you're going to show up more often. That's all it is. And so your goal is really to get an unfair advantage on the newsfeed in a good way, that more people should see what you have to offer. The other thing I did want to show you before we talk about the algorithm is lists. So let me see if I have it. You know what? It might be the next one. I'm going to mention it quickly. It might be the next slide, so I apologize. But you can create lists. You know what? It is the next slide. Forget that. Brain fart. Okay. Let's talk about the algorithm. So what is the algorithm? How does it work? So Facebook is a learning machine, and it wants you to enjoy your experience. It wants you to stay on Facebook longer. It wants to show you what it thinks you want to see. So like we talked about just now, you might want to consider training the algorithm by interacting thoughtfully, adding value, watering the things you want to see more of, and weeding out the things you want to see less of. So if you're seeing a lot of political stuff or spammy things or things you just have no interest in, you can go to the top right-hand side of a post, click on the little 3 buttons and hide it. And that will alert Facebook. You don't want to see pictures of kittens. That's not your thing. And it will no longer show you as much of that topic. And the same thing is with other people, they can hide your posts. So your goal is to post things that people will not be hiding. Now you're going to use the newsfeed and groups, which we're going to talk about, to find people that need you. So you're going to be a creator, not a consumer. So be proactive in the newsfeed. Don't just scroll through the newsfeed. The algorithm also knows when you're scrolling and you stop. The algorithm knows when people are spending time looking at your posts. That means that more people want to see what you have to say. And when they're opening up your posts and they're watching your videos, you're going to show up more in that person's newsfeed. So the more you understand human behavior and how Facebook makes their money, the better your profile and your posts will get, and the higher your interaction will be. And obviously that is what is going to grow you a successful business. All right, here's the list. So Facebook automatically create lists based on the information that you're putting in your profile. So if you go to facebook.com/bookmarks/lists, you will find it. It's also under the engage button. This is a little bit small, but if you take a screenshot and you open up where I just, here I'm going to put the little mouse over here, you'll see it's under explore. But you can open up these lists. Now, if you wrote that you went to a specific college or a specific high school, Facebook knows the other people who also listed that they went to a specific college and a specific high school, and they're going to make lists for you of people that you can interact with based on that information. My thing that I want to use lists for is the ability to create custom lists. So you can create a custom newsfeed for you. For example, I have a list of all my coaches. I have a list of potential clients. I have a list of potential coaches who are not even clients, but just people that I'm loving on, who I know are going to blow this up one day. It might take 6 months, it might take 6 years, but I'm going to keep watching them. And what that does is you create a list. What you do is you go to this web part of like whatever, this link right here, and it will have create a list, and you will add members to that list. And then you can, show just them in your newsfeed at that moment, so you can quickly interact with all of your coaches, or you can quickly interact with all of your potential clients. And that way you're not scrolling through and like trying to find those people, because if you have 4,000 friends, it can get really cumbersome. So the lists make that really, really easy for you to find the people that you want to see and kind of, get rid of all the noise. I'm going to stop sharing for a second because someone's been drawing. Give me just a sec. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is groups. So the first thing I want to touch on, even though it's at the bottom, is what is the right time to start your own client and coach support group? Some of you might be so excited to have your own people, even though they're all Optavia's people, but your people that you directly sponsored in one big place so that you can pour into them, right? Because no one's doing any of this with bad intentions, but it's really important to discuss that with your mentorship team. Usually it would be like maybe a really strong global or a presidential that would be starting their own client support group, because it takes a lot of work. And until you're at that point, you kind of want to focus on building up a really strong team and bringing on more coaches and bringing on more clients and filling up that funnel. So running a Facebook group is just going to take away time from that. And we want you to be able to focus on your business. So definitely discuss that with your mentorship and discuss when that would be a good time to open up your own group, so that it's not done before you're ready, which can then take you back a step. So I just wanted to mention that before we talk about groups. Now, groups is where you're going to find like-minded people, people who need you, but they don't know they need you because they don't even know you exist, people who you can authentically interact with. But keep in mind, like, don't be weird. Like when you're commenting, don't be like, oh, I have this thing that can help you. It's more about like someone commented about their daughter and you have a daughter who's the same age and you're just going to talk to them about that. You're not going to make it about weight loss before they're ready to hear about weight loss. You're not going to make it about getting healthy before they are ready to get healthy. And you'll know when that moment is. I kind of call it an act of flirtation. So again, not in a weird way, but hey, how are you? And how old are your kids? And do you know, oh, you know someone from there? And oh, I know someone from there. And just having that like chit chat that starts them off with, oh, this person is really cool and I do want to talk to them, you know, instead of, hey, I saw that you, you know, posted that you're in an extra large sweater and I can totally help you with that. That's just not the way you want to be talking to people. Now you want to join groups related to topics that you can add value to. So you're going to use the search bar and you are branding in those groups as like how you want to be known, but not in a, hey guys, I'm a health coach, you know, in a very obvious way. You want to just be someone who offers value to people. So for example, I'm in a lot of makeup groups, I'm in mom of girls groups, I'm in people who love to read groups. And what's interesting is you're going to get just as much value from being in there as you're going to offer. So I get ideas of books to read from being in that book group, but I'm also offering value to people, which makes it okay for me to message them, which makes it okay for me to friend them so that they can see what I'm branding on my profile. Now, we did mention before that you want the best 5,000 friends on Facebook. You're going to find these people in groups. I don't know 5,000 people personally in my inner circle. So the way that I have gotten up to the number of friends that I have is by joining these groups and interacting with these people and offering value to them and, you know, just being someone that they can trust and helping people feel a part of something, helping people feel a part of community. That is why our community groups are so, so important. But keep in mind that there are many groups that have rules against promotion. So you want to be careful. You don't want to get yourself kicked out. You might want to introduce yourself, you know, make an introduction post. Hey, my name is Rae and I'm, you know, 31, I have 3 girls and I'd love to make some new friends, and just, you know, be real and create something that people can interact with. Ask for people's opinions. Hey guys, my 7-year-old's birthday is coming up and what you know, she has everything. So what else can I get her? And people will just, they want, like I said, even on your own post or in the groups, they want to offer their value to you just as much as you want to offer your value to them. So, you know, be an active participant in those groups, share your knowledge, show people that you're a nice person. And we are now going to talk about Messenger. And again, I do see that there are a lot of questions and I promise you I'm going to get to them. So Messenger, keep in mind that there are about 7.9 billion people in the world. 10% of those people are on Messenger. That's a lot of people. So people can actually have Messenger without having Facebook. So you might even find people on there who don't have a Facebook profile, but are using Messenger just as a way to interact with people. And what I want to use the word hustle carefully because we don't hustle people, but what you want to do is you want to hustle thoughtfully, but you're not going to hustle people. Meaning it's okay to, you know, if we say do a 3x3x3 and you're doing a 5 by 15 by 15, that's okay. You're working. You're showing people that you want it. You're gonna be a driver in your business. So that's, for me, that's called the hustle, but you don't want to hustle people. Meaning you don't want to cold message people. Hey Mary, you're looking really good, but I can give you some tips on how to lose some weight. That's spammy. People don't want to be cold messaged. People want to talk to you the way you would talk to them in person. So, hey, I just saw that you had a baby and I just wanted to wish you congratulations and tell you she's absolutely adorable. I myself have 3 girls. You know, create a conversation with them so that they feel connected to you and they're not like, why is she messaging me? I didn't even realize I didn't look good in that shirt, you know? So you want to communicate. But you want to connect while you're communicating. You don't just want to throw messages at people. And then you want to cause communication on your own posts and stories so that people will reach out to you on Messenger, because Messenger is a very powerful tool. It's creating that authenticity, it's creating that relationship, it's creating that trust. And so you want to have real conversation with people. You don't want to talk at people. You want to talk with people. And so mass messaging people it goes against the grain of what I'm trying to do. That doesn't mean I'm not sending out maybe 15 messages a day, but it's not a copy and paste message, and it's not saying the same thing to everybody hoping that someone will react. So I hope that makes sense. Now, it's important to know that people don't buy goods and services. They buy relationships, stories, and magic. So how are you going to create stories and magic in your life that will allow people to want to have what you have to offer? Now we're going to talk about stories. And Facebook Stories is, and I'm going to show you exactly where it is on your phone, but it is working together with the fact that Facebook has become camera-based media focus. So it's all about the picture and the video. It's all about having people see like the sneak peeks of your life. You will have a higher % chance of people seeing your stories right now just because less people are using it. So the newsfeed got completely congested because everybody's using it, right? So stories, there are a lot of people using it, but not as many as in the newsfeed. So you have a higher % chance of getting that interaction and showing up in the story because it's just not as congested right now. Stories will show up on the top of the newsfeed. You see those little circles on the top of your newsfeed. It also will show up in the top of your Messenger app. Those little circles in the top of your Messenger app are people's active stories. You can also see who viewed your story. So if you're on your story and you scroll up, you're going to see the list of people who viewed it. There's a little eye that you scroll up on. That will show you who you should be interacting with. These are people who are seeing your content. Maybe you haven't ever messaged them. And now you know who's seeing your stuff and who maybe you want to talk to, who might be quietly watching you, who just needs you to make that first step. And again, there are more eyeballs with less content, so your stuff will get more interaction. So this is what it looks like. It's a little bit messy right here, but I'm trying to show you every little area of your story. So if you're on your phone, you can even pull out your phone right now. I'll give you a second. Pull out your phone, open up your Facebook app. When you're on your newsfeed, you're going to swipe to the left, and this is going to open up a camera that looks like this. So you can either take a picture, or you can swipe up to upload a picture that is already on your camera roll. Keep in mind that pictures that are taken in landscape mode will show up like this. So you have that blank space above and below the picture. They get lower interaction. People, for some reason, don't think they look that nice, and so people are swiping off of it sooner than a picture that is in landscape mode, which is in portrait mode, which will fill up the entire screen. So if you take a picture with this app, or if you upload a portrait mode picture, people like to see those more. Now, you upload the picture or you take the picture, now it's here. You can enhance the picture by using effects down on the bottom left. You can also save your picture here if you want to put it onto Instagram as well. The effects are, all the cute little filters and stuff, different things that you can put on if you'd like to. Now, you can also use on the top right, you can write on your story with typing. You can write on it actually with your finger. You can add a GIF. You can add, like it says like Tuesday, or it says like, hashtags or different things like that, where you can add to your picture. And you see here that I actually put a little screenshot of what is opening up when you click that little, kind of like an emoji sticky note looking thing. So you can put your location, you can put on big emojis, there's a bunch of different things, you can put the time. So it's just all these little things that you can do to enhance your story, make it more relatable, show people what they want to see. And so that's where you're going to be editing it, and then you're going to press next. Now I'm going to show you a mistake that lots and lots and lots of people are doing. And I say mistake kindly because you can actually do whatever you want. But for me, the way I use stories, it's a mistake. So what are stories? Stories are the backstage, sneak peek, unedited, cutout scenes, blooper reel of your life. So you're not sharing the same thing on your profile that you're sharing on your story, because they serve two totally different purposes. And why is that? People love to see those little sneak peeks of your life. People love to feel like they're getting like a little extra something. Like they're getting a little like, like cute little things that you're posting that no one else is seeing, right? So, you go to an event and now you're posting like the backstage and getting your makeup done, or the dress that you're going to be wearing, the shoes that you chose, like all these little things that you don't want to fill up your profile with, that you don't want to overwhelm the newsfeed with. But these are the things that you can just post that will last for 24 hours. And people feel special seeing that. People like to see the bloopers. Why do you think people like to see like the blooper reel of movies? People like that kind of stuff. So you want to share that kind of stuff to your story. You don't want to also share it to your profile. And there's two reasons why. Number one, like we just said, it serves two totally different purposes. So what you're sharing in your story is not what you're sharing in your profile. It's a different way of branding yourself. So I don't share it to both. And you'll see right here, you see where it says your story on the bottom and there's a little check mark. That's all I check off before I post it. Where it says post, I X that over there because I don't check that off. I'm not posting it to both places. When you do post it to both places, in the person's story, you'll see there's a little like white shady screen that shows up before their story shows up. You know that they posted to both places when they did that. So that just kind of looks kind of, in the story. And also, like I said, again, it just doesn't serve the same purpose. You're not branding with the sneak peeks on your profile. You're using your profile to like let people in, share your mission, be very intentional. And your stories are just there to be like that little sneak peek, like, hey, check it out, guys. This is what I did today. Check out my kids. Check out, like, you're not overwhelming anything with it because people can either swipe off the story. It's not overwhelming them as much as it would in the newsfeed. Now, in the story, When you're on someone's story, you can like quickly like move to the left. That will bring you to a completely different person's story. Or you can tap on the left, and that will bring you to the next section of that same person's story. You can tap gently to the left, and that will bring you to the previous picture. So that's just how you use the story app over there. But for me, it's really important to keep stories and profile two completely separate things. Now, this is my last little bit here. Sometimes people say that they're scared to post because they're scared of negativity, they're scared of haters. And you know what I say? Well, I didn't say it, Winston Churchill said it, but you have enemies, good. That means you stood up for something sometime in your life. You have a powerful story to share. You have an absolutely incredible gift in your hands that other people don't know about, that other people desperately need. And I know that we can say that over and over again, but until you believe it, until you feel that passion, you can either take this and run with it and turn it into the greatest thing you've ever done, or you can give up and walk away from the greatest thing you could have ever had. Because in the end, it will always be the greatest thing that walked into your life. So don't be scared of the people that are going to say negativity. Sometimes they just are jealous. They want what you have, but they're scared. They're scared of change. They have concepts. You can either, if it gets really bad, you can unfriend them, or you can just love on them until they're ready to come alongside you. But don't hold back from posting because you're scared of what people are going to say. And then really want to make this clear that these are not rules. These are suggestions. Don't get caught up with all of the buttons. Even if you take 10% of what I just said and implement that, you're going to do amazing. Your newsfeed will get cleaner. Your profile will become more personal. Your stories will get more fun. So you don't have to do all of it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Just become more heart, attract quality people, and really know that, like, if there's something that I said that doesn't work with your mentorship line, absolutely, you don't have to implement it. This is not the only way. This is just one of the ways. And I'm going to get to the comments now, but what I want to leave you off with is, what do you want and what are you willing to do to get there? Are you willing to go live? Are you willing to talk to more people? Are you willing to spend some time messaging people? Are you willing to take that time and update your profile and make it look nice and really work your business with Facebook? If not, that's fine. You can still help some people another way, but Facebook is an accelerant that will throw like fuel on that fire. So these are my suggestions. I'm going to stop sharing now. And